Today I'm going to be doing one of my first actual official sketchbook tours, and I have never really done one of these before now because I haven't sort of really been keeping them like a sketchbook to the point where I want to show them. I have completed this one finally, and yeah, it's time to show you guys what I do when I plan things, my brainstorming and all that sort of stuff as well. Now, I have actually changed my whole studio around. Everything is completely different, but I'm going to do a video on that in the future. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to show you. But yeah, I've done some dramatic changes since the last studio tour that I showed you. Watch out for that in the future. This sketchbook is an Artway Studio sketchbook. I had to get this imported from the UK. It is actually my favorite sketchbooks because I love the paper in them. They are it's just really nice paper. It's clean white. The sketchbook, when it opens up on the pages, lays relatively flat and pretty good. The only thing that I don't like about this sketchbook is when you use alcohol markers in it, they do seep through to the other side and then onto the other paper that's underneath. That's the only thing I don't like. I'm currently, my second sketchbook that I'm using right now is actually an Arteza one, and it is a far better sketchbook in that respect, where you can do alcohol markers on it and you don't get a huge amount of seepage through to the other side. But there is so many cons to that sketchbook that I will get to when I do the tour on that one. So I'm pretty far away from doing a tour on that one because I'm only like a quarter of the way through it. But there is not going to be a sketchbook tour for quite a while after this one. All right, let's get started. This is the cover of it. I ended up just putting a monster sticker on it and then just went all around it with dots with a Posca pen. And yeah, that's all I have done. So I started this in 2020. So this is the first cover. So yeah, I started this in August of 2020 and I finished it in March 2021 this year. This thing was just something that I drew. It was, it's just a monster. Obviously it's a two-headed monster, and I like to put guardians, so-called guardians of my sketchbook that protect my sketchbook. Yeah, I'm that kind of weird bitch. So this thing, I see this as the protector of my sketchbooks. It's just like, I've included quite a few animals in this. Like, you got a rattlesnake and then some sort of like serpent, like eel type thing. Then like these weird sort of like legs, cockroach kind of legs coming out, which is kind of like wings. And then the stitches in the chest. And yeah, I did some sparkly pink eyes. There's actually some sparkle, because I had a pink sparkly pen I got in a Scrawlrbox, so I decided to go over bits and pieces of it and yeah, just do some pink sort of colored sparkles. And yeah, then the two heads that aren't really the same, but yeah, they're attached to the same body, obviously. This is what I mean about the alcohol markers. This is what I don't like about this sketchbook. So, but that's, you know, they are alcohol markers. If I don't want that to happen, I've got to get a marker book. But anyway, so this is the first illustration I ever done in this. This was one of the Brothers Grimm illustrations I did. I wasn't a huge fan of this one. I don't know, just, it's okay. Like, my favorite part about this whole illustration is the cross with the drape that I done. But yeah, no, that one's not really like my favorite. So so this is just, I just did a random head here. Put a sticker in there. This is just how many light switches me and my partner were counting how many light switches we have in the house. Then there's this little fella that I ended up drawing. He is, I don't know what he is. He's like a goblin, and he's got like a potion there and this weird thing that I didn't really like. And then on the other side, I ended up redrawing him in like this kind of like this alternate universe type sort of thing, and yeah, just did things a little bit differently than I did on the other page. And then I didn't color him in. I ended up just using the colors from the alcohol marker that came through. So yeah. This one is a mermaid, and I don't know, I didn't do this for, this was not an inked, this is not a mermaid, this was not a mermaid illustration. I just randomly drew it because I decided to do like a whole purple illustration, and in alcohol markers, and I think I have pencil in there, and I think it was a Prismacolor I used, and yeah, she's like this goat type mermaid. This is from December's Scrawlrbox that I actually did the video for, and then completely lost every single bit of footage. I don't know how, I don't know what happened. I just lost everything. I think I accidentally deleted it. So I ended up not putting out that video. I didn't do a video for that, but I ended up just putting the illustration, gluing it in here, and then putting it on Instagram. So it's just like a zombie type horse. Here is just some random faces, some weird faces, just mindless doodling that I like to do when I'm watching TV. Just another goblin, some chick looking up from under the water, which is actually, like I got that reference from Pinterest. I don't even know who did it, but something similar. And then just a weird goblin sort of like elf face. And then here is just some faces that I did just to sort of practice, yeah, just practice faces, because one thing that I don't do a lot of is people, like normal people. So sometimes I like to sit down and test myself and see if I can actually draw people, normal people. Here's another side profile of just a random chick, and then I just colored her in some really weird colors, some pastel, I think they were highlighters that I got in the Scrawlrbox. Here is some brainstorming for some felt pattern ideas. He's already been completed. He's on my Etsy store. I do want to make this little fella eventually, so yeah, watch out for him. Did this weird face that actually looks like Michael Jackson, but it wasn't intended on to be looking like him. Here is some more just sketching body poses, and sort of just trying to sort of get back to basics and do normal stuff. Here is some stickers. That's actually a sticker right there, and then I drew a body for her, which I thought was I thought that was pretty neat, to try and sort of work out what I was going to do for her and complete her outfit, because yeah, the stickers from there to there, and then I drew all this in. So she's an axe murdering woman. Did the same here, put this sticker in and then drew something around it, because I really like to do that. I actually have a series, if you're new to here, I actually have a series where I do this with alcohol markers and try and match the color to the stickers, which is actually quite fun, and it is a good challenge. This is a completed illustration that I did for one of the Scary Monster, the Scary Trophy series. It's Regan from The Exorcist. Yeah, so I just wanted to test what this paper was going to be like if I did a full illustration in watercolor, and it held up pretty well. Here's just some Prismacolor, random weird doodles. And then here is another, this one was done in just ink. So I got the sparkly inks from Wish, I think I got them. And then this was an illustration I did with a video. It was a full illustration. I don't mind him. I don't do a lot of this sort of stuff very often, so it was actually a good change. This is where I keep all my Scrawlrbox stickers. I keep them here. So this is one page finished. I started collecting Scrawlrbox on October 2018, so that's how long I've been subscribed to them. This one was a redraw from No Mural Designs. I think that's how you say it. I decided to redraw his Pinocchio in my style. Yeah, I do really like that, how I've done that. Here's the rest of the Scrawlrbox stickers. Yeah, it's a nice array of stickers there. Here is more doodling of weird characters and normal faces, trying to just draw people in just a ballpoint pen and without erasing or doing any sort of lead where I can erase it. Yeah, and she's just a weird sort of elf looking design that I just randomly drew. This was the experiment that I did when I first got paint pens. When I got a whole box of them that were really cheap, I drew this robot chick, and yeah, she's not too bad, don't mind her. Sticker, and this was the collab I did with Chantel from Darkest Raven Design. This was my mapping out of what I was going to do for the horror prompt series with the zombie frogs. Here's just some more weird random monsters that I did. That's just weird. This is awful. That I don't mind him, but it is still, yeah. More poses with a chick. I drew her there. I actually don't mind her face. And then I tried to redraw her in another sort of pose looking up because I sort of struggle with those sort of perspectives. So yeah, I gave that a go. This was from a aquatic monster series with some watercolors I got from Connie. And yeah, I ruined it. Like, this was I really liked this little guy, and I was actually gonna put a print out, and then I did this dumb shit and drew this little fella, which I like. I really do like him. I drew him on the other side, and yeah, totally, absolutely wrecked that picture. So not real happy with myself, but sort of bittersweet because I really do like this little guy. Another sticker, another weird drawing. This is a steampunk version of my beautiful little boy Tyson, the English Staffy that I have, which he has starred in quite a few of my videos. I decided to draw him in a robot dog one night, and yeah, I don't mind him. I tried to get the proportions right and everything, so it was a bit of a challenge. That's just swatches from some markers I got from Kmart, which was a really bad idea. Here is some more sort of brainstorming for the with Return to Oz illustration that I did. Brainstorming again for this illustration that I did, which is on my Redbubble store, and I did a video for that. Scrawlrbox, what do you call it? Brainstorming. That's a video too, brainstorming for that. That was my redraw for an Inktober, one that I want to do in watercolor, and that's just a scary zombie face and skull. Brainstorming for the Coraline piece that I wanted to do there too. And then this one is the brainstorming I did for drawing my partner as a superhero. So that was a really cool video that I did. So I did enjoy how that one came out. Yep, once again, brainstorming for a horror prompt. That one's the do not open one. And this was also drawing up the ideas for one of the Brothers Grimm drawings as well that I was doing. This is another sticker. This is actually from a dragon book that I have. And then, yeah, this was the S-Gel pens. And then I wrote smoothie because I have such a smooth pen to draw in. So I ended up drawing this fella with the red one and putting some, you know, black details in there, some black goo. More drawing up of an illustration that I did, which is also a video of folding, the folding part where you fold it down and then when you fold it back up there, it reveals more of the illustration. And there's just a skeleton animal, weird skeleton animal. Brainstorming for a Scrawlrbox. That's a video. Drew this weird thing. More brainstorming for the horror prompts with the blood and guts. So that was an interesting prompt that I did and had quite a few ideas. This is a gouache piece that I did on black paper, which I did a video for. Wasn't real happy with that. Where's Wally? Or Where's Waldo? That's the brainstorming I did for him. I really like the sketches. I love the sketches more than anything than the finished piece, which sort of really sucks. Sometimes I really wish that I don't sketch things out. Brainstorming for the sticker video that I did, and this was trying to work out what I was going to do for the Christmas video last Christmas, and I ended up going with something completely different than that. So yeah, this was the video I did for the plagues video. This one was triggered for me to do from the whole corona issues that are going on in the world. So this is when I come up with doing the whole video for doing all the different plagues over the history. So this was all my brainstorming and writing down what each one was like and drawing the ideas and the concept for it all. Once again, more brainstorming. This whole book is just brainstorming. This one is for the horror prompt. Once again, absolutely love that sketch that I did. I do like the final result of this one too, but there's just always something good about the sketch process. I find it's always so much better. More designing for the redraw for the Saturn devouring his son and all the information that I got down for that. Yes, more brainstorming, more working out what I'm going to do for the scary trophy. Here's the series that I'm doing for the cryptids, and just some chick being shot in the head there. Someone's face is coming off there. These were just awful, just experimenting with water-based markers, which was just rubbish. Oh, there is the brainstorming for the Christmas one I did for the graphite watercolors, which I'm going to be doing another piece in those graphite watercolors because I absolutely love them. This here is an absolute disaster. Once again, experimenting and just mindlessly doodling with watercolor markers. Different designs for faces that were just terrible, and then this one I ended up doing for a Scrawlrbox. This is the Valentine's piece that I did this year. I like it. I like that one. I like the sketch process better than the finished one. Here is the ideas for the possessed kitchen utensil for the horror prompts. Once again, just a quick sort of mock-up of the little monsters for, I did a draw this in your style for turning like a cute illustration into something creepy. More horror prompt designs. That's the merry-go-round idea that I had for that. I call it the most epic piece that I have done to date because it took me so much time and there was so much detail in it, and I really wholeheartedly enjoyed that piece. Just some random doodlings there. Here is one of the monster animal mashups that I wasn't really impressed with. Here's a few designs that I come up with, and then I ended up I think I ended up rehashing that completely. It was just a disaster. More alcohol marker, just drawing random heads with the, I got this in a Scrawlrbox, and I just ended up doing that as just a mindless doodle one night. Here is the continuation on from all the Scrawlrbox stickers up to date, May 2021. So I will continue this bottom part, and I will put the other 3 here, and then that'll be done. I will then continue on in the Arteza book with the stickers. Here was just some, once again, mindless doodling of shadow creatures. The ideas that I had for a video that I did for this homicidal girl, which I really do like. I got that illustration on Redbubble. Skull, more designs, more ideas for cryptids. The Stuff Happens series that I do, doing some more brainstorming, and then that was the final piece that I did do with a few more changes in the original. This was for December's Scrawlrbox ideas, and that's the little guy that I ended up going with. These ones I was actually going to do a set, but I was so disheartened when I lost all the footage for that one. I ended up just, leaving it. More redesigns of the Stuff Happens illustration that I did. Really wanted to refine it because I was really sort of not sure on the weird concept I wanted to go, which if you watch the video, or if you have seen the video, it is some weird shit, this one. Ideas for another horror prompt, the frozen body parts. Once again, I love that sketch better than the final piece. This is the one of the Brothers Grimm stories. This is the last one I did, I think, where I just sketched in pen the rough idea of what I wanted to do for the story, and then I wrote down the story here and shrunk the story because it was a pretty long story. Yeah. Brainstorming for the piece that I did, I ended up getting a reference, and I have the reference, the name of the artist that I got the idea from for this piece in that video. I can't remember who it is now, but I really like that concept, so I took it and turned it into my own. So yeah, that was just done completely in pen, no lead or anything, so I didn't rub it out. It was just a quick sketch, so I had an idea of what I was going to do. Just some weird faces, some Tim Burton looking faces. I was going to do this illustration eventually, but I don't know now. I'm not sort of feeling it. Now this page is when I really suffered from art block. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't seem to draw anything. I started drawing skulls and just failed miserably. Like it was just, I don't know, I was going through a really tough week where my hand just wouldn't seem to communicate with with my brain to get some ideas out, and I was just really struggled. So I ended up taking a week off of drawing and then came back a bit more fresher. So I totally recommend doing that if you do struggle with that sort of stuff where you can't seem to, like, even though you've got an idea in your head, you can't execute it because like there's just, I don't know, it's like a broken connection between your brain and your hand. Just take some time off. So yeah, but I was just pissed off because I really wanted to come up with some designs that I really wanted to draw, but I just couldn't. That was probably the last effort that I did because I was determined to try and get something out that was half decent as a skull, and then once I did that, I sort of gave up then, and yeah, then just like picked up the pen a week later and then sort of started getting back into some more doodling. Yeah, this I was going to do as well in an illustration, a final piece, but not feeling it. This concept here was from a movie called Strings. It's actually an Australian movie where it's done with like marionettes, and all the strings go up into the sky, and if the dolls have the head one severed, they die. It's the weirdest movie, and I was going to do an illustration to sort of pay tribute to that movie because I really enjoyed it because it's weird, but I don't know yet. I really don't know about that. This is just some random drawings of an idea that I'm going to be doing in the future. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. This one is ideas for turning my favorite childhood TV show characters into horrifying monsters. So that's one of the pages, ideas for that. I had some ideas for doing monsters for every season. Still, that's in the works. I do want to still do that eventually. But yeah, these monsters are not going to be these monsters. Here is some alien creatures that I was going to turn into teas, like different teas. Like you got your chai tea alien and black tea alien and all that, but I've sort of knocked that on the head. But I think I will do a series of aliens though, but not with all the different teas. Some more ideas for that. Then this is the ideas I had for that hanging trees illustration that I did. There is the face that I drew up for that, and once again another horror prompt. This was supposed to be a clay, a polymer clay project that I was going to do, but not going to do that now. Then yeah, you will hang for your sins. That's referring to that. Here is an illustration I drew of being an empath, which I still do want to draw eventually, so stay tuned for an illustration like that. Because yeah, I am an empath, so I want to sort of touch bases on that and talk about that in the future. Here was all the planning that I tried to do for the Pokemon to horrifying monsters videos, and then I ended up just scrapping all that and ended up just doing each Pokemon from Gen 1, which I will go on from there and not do this monstrosity. Here is the idea I had for the bipolar video. Here are some ideas I had initially for the Tim Burton, turning myself into a Tim Burton character. Another horror prompt. Here is the Pokemon ideas that I had that's for Raichu. This is another sticker one. This is the sticker brainstorming. Then the horror prompt continue on from there. There, this is Licky Tongue, the brainstorming I did for him, which I love that sketch. I really do. I like it better than the, once again, like it better than the original. So, I mean, I like it better than the finished product. Like, just that sketch of him was awesome. Just some more weird doodles, and that's actually a Scrawlrbox idea that I had. This is the idea I had for the Stuff Happens #3 video with the sewer and the ball. That was a weird, that was a weird prompt set, that was. And we've come to the final page, which is actually an illustration that I'm going to be doing in the future very, very soon, and I will be doing this probably in the next couple of months, so stay tuned for that. So this is all the ideas I had. I've got more. I continued into the other sketchbook, but yeah, that is sketchbook #1 done and dusted with the tour. It's not the most spectacular thing in the world, but yeah, that's just my brainstorming that I do, and yeah, that's just my sketchbook. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed some aspects of this tour, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.